Hello, how are you doing today, my dear friends? Once again, I welcome you all to today's special live session. To everyone who is a part of today's live broadcast and to everyone who is just joining us right now, I want to say thank you very much for being here with us. Friends, if all of you are ready to begin, if you are joining us for the first time today, then please take a moment to let me know through your comments or by sending a quick message that you can see the video clearly and hear my voice without any issues. To everyone who is currently a part of this live session right now, I want you to know that I can see each and every one of you through your wonderful comments and the messages you are sending in. It is truly great to have you all here with me today, and I am looking forward to interacting with you throughout the entirety of this broadcast. Today, the various topics we are going to discuss together include many important things that are truly worth learning in depth and many essential things that, if carefully kept in mind and reflected upon, will help us significantly in the future. In the many years and times yet to come, these insights will allow us to better understand how we will choose to live our daily lives on a deeply personal level, how we will navigate challenges, and how we will grow as individuals. Today's live session is going to be very special, very unique. We will focus a bit on various geographical, spiritual, and practical matters and on what we can achieve in life through our own efforts and attempts. These are some of the things we will pay attention to today. We will pay a little attention to these things today, discuss them, and try to devote some of our time to them. First of all, my dear friends, let me take a moment to tell you all about the freezing temperature where I am staying right now. The weather is completely and utterly different here today. It is currently hovering at almost 0 degrees, and it feels so incredibly cold that it is almost like there is snow covering everything everywhere. In many different cities all across Europe, there has even been quite a lot of snowfall already. While back where you are in India, I am sure you must be enjoying some truly pleasant and comfortable weather. You are certainly enjoying it there. There are many people abroad who they long for your weather, for a bit of warmth, for the simple conveniences of daily life, so that they can step outside, enjoy the sunshine, and take care of their small tasks instead of being confined indoors. But the happiness in one person's life is always constantly shifting from one to another. And today we are going to talk about some of these very things. We will discuss these things, friends. All of you are connected to a spiritual environment. You all come from a spiritual background. But many times, I feel that we often forget the line, the boundary, the circle that separates spirituality from religiosity. We often forget this. There are absolutely no limitations or restrictions in spirituality. There is nothing at all to be found in spirituality that would ever hold you back whatsoever. Impose restrictions on our lives or our daily routines because of old traditions. In religious matters, certain rules are always made to help us live life in a better way, and those rules sometimes change according to our times and circumstances. They do. But in the midst of changing circumstances, these rules sometimes work against bringing about necessary change. We need to understand the difference between being religious and being spiritual. We have to understand the distinction between the two. The path of saints and sages has always been spiritual. In changing times and circumstances, what steps will you take to benefit from them? And often religious policies say that whatever was happening 2,000 years ago should still be followed today. We will only talk about the things that were explained to us 2,000, 4,000 years ago, or even just a few hundred years back. The question is about being spiritual or religious. Across every corner of the globe today, there is an unmistakable and heavy atmosphere of impending war that seems to permeate the international landscape. From the highest levels of government diplomacy to the everyday lives of ordinary citizens, the palpable tension of potential conflict and geopolitical instability is felt deeply by everyone, everywhere, as the entire world remains on high alert during these increasingly uncertain and turbulent times. The state of fear, the state of education, people who once considered certain countries to be safe are now leaving those very countries due to fear or excessive security. The things people used to consider safe, like earning money and depositing it in the bank, now seem to have become unsafe. Those who used to say that wealth, money, property, assets, that's everything, Over the course of these most recent days, across many different dimensions and aspects of modern warfare, we have witnessed all of those established systems and structures seemingly falling apart. Here in India, perhaps we are not seeing a direct or immediate impact of this, but it is certainly having a very significant and far reaching effect on the stability of India's economy. Essential resources like oil, fuel, natural gas, and all of those other critical commodities that we rely on for centuries and for the coming decades, tens of years into the future, there is now a situation where life is being pushed backward. Friends, you know that all of us, through our trust, are adopting afforestation and the way carbon emissions happen, how humans, through industrialization, the way humans, by setting up factories and large industrial plants for industrialization, are completely destroying nature and the environment. Because of all this, the earth is no longer a suitable or healthy place for human habitation. Our essential resources like food and drinking water have become severely contaminated, dangerously polluted, and incredibly toxic to all life. In such a dire situation, our organization has dedicated ourselves to working in a wide variety of different ways to improve our surroundings. But in these recent days, you have significant and major disasters have already occurred, and their long term effects will also be seen right here in India in the many years and times to come. So, my dear friends, exactly how much each and every one of you will be affected by this will only truly become clear when that inevitable time finally comes. But whether you want to or not, you all will eventually have to face this difficult situation head on. Our future generations, if you have children, if you are parents and you have beloved descendants, sons and daughters, then consider how all these people can truly benefit from this meaningful phase of your life and how you all can fully capitalize on and benefit from these things in your lives, all these wonderful opportunities. It is absolutely essential for every one of us to carefully consider all of these various factors, specifically how the events currently unfolding in the world around us truly affect our daily lives. Think about the 15 distinct generations that have already passed before us and the vast array of unique experiences and hardships they went through during their time. Many individuals have already significantly benefited from the wisdom of your guidance. Therefore, by taking the time to meet with them, you will undoubtedly find that you too will benefit in much the same way. In time, people will come to learn that these are the foundational plans for the future which they are actively seeking with the hopeful and visionary eyes of tomorrow. The first thing we must consider is that I know many people who consistently try to ignore everything around them, hoping to avoid all the problems they face. My friends, there is a very famous saying that if a pigeon simply closes its eyes upon seeing a hungry cat sitting directly in front of it, it believes it is safe. However, even though that pigeon refuses to look, the cat remains right there in front of it, ready to strike, proving that ignoring a threat does not make it disappear. It will make no difference in our lives. We have nothing to do with anything. We have no concern with anything. Those who want to stay confined within a small circle, who have nothing to do with knowledge, with education, or with moving forward, those people who remain surrounded by the darkness of ignorance at this time, those people will be destroyed in due course. And first of all, I want to tell you something. The first and most important thing. What should we do? What should we have our children do? We should stay informed. Understand every situation around you very well and keep gaining knowledge, friends. You are all family people. And often, when it comes to raising children, how to educate and nurture them, in which direction, as a parent, you have to carefully nurture them, decide with great thought in which specific direction to let them go, assign them meaningful responsibilities, and constantly guide them in the right direction. This is your fundamental job and your primary duty. I see many parents who want to educate their children, want to give them prestigious degrees, and want to see them reach great heights in their careers. But when it comes to social values and truly instilling deep moral values in them, yeah, they often overlook the most essential part of the journey. They tend to ignore the time that should be devoted to this. Friends, between these two spheres, studies and free time, the role of parents truly begins. What do you want to give your child? What information do you want to provide? What the child will prepare themselves, friends. Just now, I was watching a short video and I want to tell you about it. In the next couple of minutes, I would like to share a very important story with you. In China, the government regularly shows all the school children various educational videos about the great hardships and the monumental struggles of their ancestors, their parents, and their grandparents. Through these powerful videos, they make these young children aware that if they are not fully prepared for the future, then slavery and oppression could once again return to their lives. Grandparents did not live a life of luxury like we are giving our children today. What they have now is a great blessing that came after a lot of struggle in their lives. If today they are able to live well, if today they have no major and financial difficulties from all sides, if they are able to eat bread at home, it is because of the great struggle of some parent. China teaches its children, their parents, their grandparents, all their ancestors, how they struggled, how they survived by working hard, how they saved themselves during times of war, how they kept themselves safe in battles, how they sacrificed to protect the lives of others. By sacrificing their own lives little by little, they have built today's present day, today's society. What you want to give to your children is the 2 cents of information that holds value today. The first thing I want to tell you, friends, is that gradually you are seeing that after World War II, now slowly the threat of World War III is emerging. People have started saying that the kind of conflicts and fights happening everywhere for power and wealth, fights for power, for wealth, for their own strength, major countries are killing millions of people just to destroy each other. No one is willing to think about the soldiers, the young men. Consider the person who joins the army, for whose ultimate greed and for whose personal ambition is he truly being sacrificed. When there is a devastating war between two different countries under very dangerous and volatile circumstances, especially when someone deliberately attacks us and the entire war is fought strictly for self defense, then in that specific situation, but many times, unfortunately, it happens for someone else's insatiable greed. For example, when someone desperately wants to become the greatest and most powerful king in the entire world. For such bitter rivalries, when truly great and noble people are sacrificed, my dear friends, then you must understand that in such moments of blind devotion, in such misguided blind faith, and in such extreme overwhelming greed, I truly want to tell you today that if you simply keep sitting there with your eyes closed at this critical time, then a very, very difficult and challenging period will surely come into all of our lives. My dear friends, for all of you listening, the very first thing you should do is constantly remind your children of those historical times when, in their precious free time, instead of indulging in mindless luxury, wasteful extravagance, and a life of unnecessary excess, they should focus on what truly matters for our future. The second crucial point to consider is that we should always strive to maintain a fundamental and consistent level of preparedness and readiness in our daily lives. If we ever have to navigate our way through the most challenging and toughest of situations imaginable, how exactly will we be able to manage and survive? No, be able to get by. Do we know of any such things today that would allow us to earn our livelihood? Do we know how to do any such work? Do we know even small things like these? Do we know any handwork, any handicrafts that would allow us to do small jobs? Friends, just recently there has been a threat in Europe that suddenly the electricity might go out. Let me give you a small example. Cuba is a small. In this dire situation, Cuba stands as a nation that, having lost its core industrial and economic capabilities, is currently forced to struggle through a period of extreme poverty, helplessness, and starvation. The citizens face a daily battle to secure basic necessities as the infrastructure continues to crumble and available resources become increasingly scarce across the island, leaving the population in a state of constant vulnerability and uncertainty about their future. If a difficult situation arises where we find ourselves with absolutely no resources left at all, how exactly will we continue to live our daily lives? Do we truly know of any such practical things or skills that would allow us to sustain ourselves through nothing but our own dedicated hard work? My dear friends, in such challenging times, there are actually many resilient people living in small villages who are very resourceful and knowledgeable about these things. My dear friends, from a deeper spiritual perspective, I truly want to share one more important thing with you today. There are so many people out there who unfortunately make significant mistakes when it comes to understanding the true nature of spirituality and religiosity. Just recently, a great many people have sent me various messages claiming that absolutely all of us will be saved, regardless of our actions or our path, which is a very complex topic to address. But while on the other hand, there are people who are oppressing and exploiting each other in various ways, who are willing to stoop to any level just to take advantage of others. They believe that these people cannot harm you because you are connected to religion. Friends, you are connected to religion. Friends, I want to tell you a truth, not just today, but for ages and ages, people have considered religion as a protective shield and have always neglected their own actions. And whenever they have done so, others, terrorists, have taken advantage of this. Countless people, countless terrorists, whenever they have taken someone's life, all those people were religious in some way. Whenever someone's temple or mosque was looted, those people were religious. Whenever in a house, daughters in law or daughters, someone's daughter, someone's S, even when we find ourselves in the very midst of the most devastating incidents happening all around our daily lives. Suddenly and unexpectedly for us, a powerful miracle stands firm as a solid wall of protection. My dear friends, I want to very clearly and solemnly warn everyone at this moment. Do not ever use your religion as a convenient excuse for your own personal inaction. Do not consider it a substitute for your own hard work. You must be careful not to do this. For if you do, you might find yourself wandering away from the path. Do not take this action, lest you fail to guide yourself in the right direction. Now, I am reading a specific message. There is a clear message I can see here. A brother has written to me mentioning that Swamiji once remarked during a discourse that modern science really ought to look at itself in the mirror. He asks a profound question. Has there truly been any genuine progress made in our world today? Throughout history, science has fundamentally emerged from the vast and growing body of human knowledge. It has truly come from our very own deep seated collective understanding of the universe. An uneducated person, a person who has not yet been exposed to the rigors of formal study or the systematic exploration of facts, may find it difficult to grasp how these complex theories are built upon the simple, foundational truths that we have gathered over many centuries of observation and careful thought. Is it truly possible for an ignorant person to practice the complex discipline of science? I want to pose a very serious question to all of you today, my friends. If a person does not actively seek to acquire deep knowledge and understanding, will they ever truly be able to grasp the intricate principles of science? An ignorant person or someone who is fundamentally foolish is often never even willing to listen to the wisdom of anyone else, making it impossible for them to learn or grow in any meaningful way. Have you ever encountered a truly uneducated and deeply ignorant person? They are the type of individuals who will almost never find common ground or agree with anyone else's perspective. Instead, they will constantly go out of their way to find faults in others' butts, while stubbornly insisting that the small amount they happen to know is the one and only absolute truth. That is really all there is to their mindset, because in their view, what they personally know represents the entire extent of the truth in this world. If in this modern age we are fortunate enough to live in warm, comfortable houses, in dwellings that can be easily heated during the winter or cooled during the summer, if in our daily lives we enjoy a profound sense of safety and security, knowing there are no dangerous wild animals roaming just outside our doors, if our modern homes are fully equipped with reliable electricity and high speed internet access, and if there is a vast array of diverse jobs and professional careers available for every one of us to pursue, we have acquired a vast wealth of knowledge over time. From that knowledge came the birth of science. And through the application of science, humans received many modern conveniences to advance and progress through our daily lives. Just because science has also given us powerful tools of destruction and harm, you simply cannot dismiss its value because that destruction actually stems from the relentless nature of human competition and rivalry, the desire to defeat others from which all kinds of destructive things have been created bombs, nuclear bombs, and so on. I am taking this formal opportunity to introduce myself to you today, and I would like to provide a much more comprehensive context regarding exactly who I am as an individual and what I truly represent in this capacity, as I firmly believe it is absolutely essential for us to establish a very clear and mutual understanding of my professional background, my personal journey, and the core values that I hold incredibly dear to my heart. My dear friends, I have also personally noticed in recent days that across the country of India, there are all kinds of these so called self proclaimed Babas who regularly conduct all sorts of deceptive and fake rituals, actively promote all kinds of supposedly magical but fake stones, and constantly offer all sorts of entirely false and misleading means to the public. This is a phenomenon that has been happening for a very long time now. It is important to recognize that there are many different countries across the globe that, during the span of our own modern history, were still living under the heavy burden of colonial rule back in 1947. Furthermore, we must acknowledge that there are numerous nations which, during this very same period of our own time, were also subjected to the harsh realities of being enslaved and oppressed by foreign powers. Those who want to study only want to get a degree in the name of studying, and that is why I say to all those people who are associated with our institution that if you stand strong in the face of today's fear and insecurity, if you want to face it by standing firm, then instead of being afraid, be prepared, get ready. You must be fully and completely prepared, equipped with deep knowledge, one, with the rigorous pursuit of science, with a profound sense of understanding, and with such high dimensions of every single thing in this world. You must prepare yourself thoroughly. Start this process of preparing now. And if it happens that you yourself are unable to study, then you must teach your children, teach your daughters, and educate both your boys and your girls for the sake of knowledge, so that they may gain a vast amount of knowledge and learn so much more, so that they can eventually make incredible new inventions and discover brand new horizons. The first thing I said was this, Yuva: stay well informed. You and your children should not squander your free time on useless, trivial, or frivolous entertainment or by watching such shallow things. Instead, make a conscious effort to stay informed about what is happening in the world. The second thing is to prepare yourself, to make yourself truly capable and competent. It is absolutely vital to be mindful of your mental state. You must protect your mental state at all costs and with every ounce of your being. If within the specific society, the family structure, or the general environment that you are currently living in, there happen to be constant, persistent attempts to undermine your mindset in a variety of different ways, then it is imperative that you take the necessary steps to protect yourself from that kind of negativity. Every possible effort is being made to bring you down, so try to avoid that. Friends, there is a very beautiful saying: you will become the person who your friends are in your life. The kind of friends you have in your life, that's the kind of person you will become. If your friends are not educated, knowledgeable, wise, considerate, and do not wish well for others, or seek the good and welfare of others, then it is a big mistake on your part to think that you will progress in life. Write this down today in your notebook. If your company is not good, you cannot learn anything. Your mental state will deteriorate, your mindset and your inner peace will be disturbed. You will encounter people who, at every moment, every hour, every instant, will speak poison into your life. You will meet people who, even while pretending to care for you, will push you in the wrong direction, and you will have no way out. You will be trusting people who won't hesitate even for a moment to throw stones at you. The third thing is to take care of your mental state, and this will only be possible when you surround yourself with people who are progressive, knowledgeable, wise, educated, and learned, those who have worked hard. If you end up befriending or associating with someone who sits idle and gives free advice, they will act as poison in your life. If you are not finding the best company, you will destroy your mental state. So, friends, I want to make one thing very clear to all of you, and this is something that no one else in the world can do. I am telling you that you are expecting that a guru, a knowledgeable person, a scholar, or a saint, one true guru, one saint, will change the circle of your life, will change the people you befriend, will change who you sit and spend time with, what kind of conversations you have, and with whom you discuss things. This cannot be changed by anyone else. Friends, I see so many people who, when they come to satsang, spend half an hour there, but the rest of the time they sit with people who talk about all sorts of worldly filth, which only gathers more negativity in their lives. If you will not find a challenging person, someone who challenges you, who pushes you to get up every day, to work hard every day, to learn something every day, then that person cannot truly be your friend in life. It is even wrong to call someone a friend if they do not challenge you, if they do not push you even a little to move forward. Friends, India is not in a very good situation. I am speaking to you from an academic perspective. Many people live in their myths, believing that India is great. India is the golden bird. India is very good. India is the teacher of the world. India will show the world the way. Even though so many people in India still do not know what is right and wrong, people who do not know how to give proper advice to others, people who are unaware of their own credibility, people who do not know how to guide others on the right path or support them in moving in the right direction. How can we support someone unless you move towards well being, unless you have a genuine intention in your heart to lead life towards goodness? As long as there is only competition, that I am falling behind others, then I have to drag others down. I have to trouble others. I have to pull others' legs. I have to bring others down. I have to cause others pain. Friends, you will be surprised. Every day I see people who walk around with a smile on their face, yet every day they want to push someone down, bring someone down, or do harm to someone. If they can't do it physically, then they'll do it mentally. If not mentally, then in some other way. So they will speak harsh words to them, say bitter things, say things that spoil someone's mood, where a person's mental state or mindset is affected. If someone is intent on poisoning another person's life, then India cannot move forward. Friends, write this down. Write this down on a white sheet of paper and hang it up. If you will not change your mental state, you will not make your physical state better. Your outer life will not be good if you do not fix your inner life. So, friends, these days such times are upon us, and I want to make you all a little aware of this. Because India is a country that has a habit of crying under a velvet blanket. People in India are such that they have a habit of ignoring things until a thief breaks into their house, until aggression enters their home, until people come and start looting their house. Until then, people do not want to accept the truth. It is painful to accept the truth. Friends, when you get pricked by a thorn, you don't feel a sweet pain, you feel real suffering. It hurts when something is unclear to you, when something uncomfortable happens in your life and you admit it, when you accept that things are not going well for you, that you are not living a healthy life, that the environment around you is not good, that your studies are not going well, and you do not challenge yourself. If you don't try to change it, you'll just sit and cry. You might become suicidal unless you put in the effort yourself. Until then, no one else in your life can bring progress to your life. That's why, friends, I once read something very beautiful. Please mark my words, write these things down. I once read something very beautiful. You are the only guru you will ever need in your life. You can have only one true guru, and that is you. If you do not become your own guru, then even if God Himself appears before you, you still won't listen to Him. Friends, this is a reference from the time of the Mahabharata. Duryodhana had the most encounters with Lord Krishna, but he was the only one who did not change. Even if God Himself appears before you, even if He manifests in front of you, it does not guarantee that your mind will change. It's not necessary. If you are living your life with ill intentions, if your destiny and your mental state remain unchanged in your life, if you have not started to change them, if you have accepted an environment of bitterness and poison as your life, if you are living with a frustrated mindset, if your mind is like Duryodhana, then your soul cannot become Arjuna. You will not be able to recognize Krishna. You will not listen to Krishna. And friends, the era of the Mahabharata is a living example of this. Krishna did not want war, but Duryodhana still went to war, fought the war, and met his death. Both Arjuna and Duryodhana exist within us in our lives. If you embrace the Guru in your life and follow his teachings, then in the true sense, through your words and your conduct, you will reap the benefits of life. Friends, let me tell you a very beautiful incident. It will make you laugh a lot. Just a few days ago, I went somewhere and met a very old satsangi, a very good satsangi. I said to him, please don't do this work. And he was the kind of person who really wanted to get it done. So I told him 10 times, don't do this work. Don't do this work. And yet, despite being told so many times, he insisted and went ahead and did that work. When I said to him, you consider me your guru, so then what is the need to even say that you should listen to your guru if you don't intend to follow him? If you only want to do what you want, if you are your own guru, if you will only listen to yourself, if you will only act according to your own wishes, if you will only follow your own words, then why is it necessary to say that you have a guru if you will never be able to follow someone? Why pretend so much? Why put on such a show that you have a guru, that you have a guide, when in reality you only want to follow your own mind? Friends, that's why a very beautiful thing has been said. You can never truly accept someone else as your guru. You will never follow someone as your guru. You cannot accept anyone else as your guru. You will only consider your own mind as your guru. You will only do what your mind tells you to do. And friends, if you don't believe what I'm saying, you have the whole next week. Try it out for yourself. Ask yourself this very simple question: whose advice do you actually follow? You will be surprised to find that you don't truly listen to anyone in this world. You only listen to that part of your mind which shows you that you can benefit from it. It's something that is advantageous to you. If you get a chance to apply even a little bit of what I'm saying in your life, you must, absolutely must, observe this in your own life. Friends, we are slowly coming to our final point, which is that if we really want to change this situation, we need to change our mental state. To achieve that, we truly have to transform the immediate environments and surroundings we are living in every day. It is absolutely essential to pay very close attention to the specific people you are spending your valuable time with. Second point, you must focus all your energy on what you can actually control. Worrying about things you cannot change is a completely futile and unproductive exercise. Instead, work diligently on the things you can change. If you can bring positive change to your internal self control, your mindset, your daily actions, your way of thinking, and your personal efforts, then you should focus your work on those areas. The situations happening all around, what people are saying, what is being said to you, the things that are being presented before you, worrying about things that are beyond your control will not benefit your life in any way. And friends, this is the biggest thing that everyone needs to understand in today's times. We mostly feel bad about those things which we cannot control, the things we cannot change. Those are the things we worry about. And the things we can change, we don't pay attention to them. So, friends, if you really want to achieve something in today's battle of fear, in this atmosphere of complete insecurity, if you want to see yourself gradually moving forward in life with your family and all your loved ones, you have to take full responsibility and control over the specific things which are already prepared and waiting for you. If you constantly stress and worry yourself about things you simply cannot control, it will only lead you towards an overwhelming sense of increased anxiety and even more problems. Friends, there is a very beautiful saying: what is not under your control is under God's control. Whatever God wants to do with it, if He wants to erase you, that is destiny. If He wants to end you, there is nothing you can do. And if He wants to make you, then you will have to go through all the hardships, troubles, and difficulties moving forward with the right mindset towards the right goal. Even if you go through that time with the wrong mindset, you may not be able to take anything from even the greatest of messages. Life teaches us a lot. The only question is whether you are ready to learn or not. So, friends, the last thing I want to say, which is very important in today's times: never speak about something you haven't experienced yourself. Misinformation is the biggest lie in this world, right? Many times, friends, you must have noticed that there are people standing on the street, and when we ask them for directions, even if they don't know the way, they still point in some direction and say, go straight ahead, then turn from there. Even though they don't know the way, someone who doesn't know the way is still giving directions. Someone who doesn't know the way is still giving directions. This is the worst and most difficult situation of our times. So, friends, if you want to make sure that you don't become like that yourself, I have only one thing to say to all of you. If you are ready to make a change, you will become the forefather of this whole movement. In today's times, your home needs to change. Your family, your mindset, your society, your country all need to change. And if we change, there will definitely be some positive changes in our lives. My friends, there are many important things that if you choose to ignore them, you will be left behind. And the one who is truly hungry for success right now, the one who wants to move forward, will inevitably surpass you. That's why, friends, there's a very beautiful saying. Sometimes the child of a poor person reaches very high positions, and sometimes the children of very rich and privileged people, even when luxury is served to them on a platter, are unable to enjoy even the finest delicacies. Just a few days ago, friends, I was noticing that Sachin Tendulkar was a great batsman, but he couldn't make his own son into as top notch a batsman as himself. He couldn't make his son excel in the very field in which he himself was so skilled. Having more of something will never make you worthy of it. How strong is your hunger? How much passion do you have inside you to achieve something? How intensely do you want to attain something? If you do not want something badly, you will never get those things. Friends, it's not as if some divine blessing is being showered upon you. If you are worthy, if you truly have the passion inside to achieve something, then you will definitely get it. That is why those people are moving ahead in life today. And friends, I saw recently that someone said something very beautiful. We worship Saraswati, but the greatest number of universities, the most education, and the highest regard for knowledge is in the US, in America. We worship wealth. We worship Lakshmi here in India, but the most wealth is in Dubai. We worship all kinds of gods and goddesses. We worship Vishwakarma, but the most work is in China. We worship all sorts of deities because we just kept worshiping, we just kept making idols, and we stopped embodying all those meaningful duties of God in our own lives. We strayed from knowledge, and when you stray from knowledge, when you develop a hunger for mere acquisition, when your youth, after watching all those vulgar videos, immerse themselves in all sorts of addictions, BDs, cigarettes, marijuana, tobacco, and various other vices, if we see all our youth heading down this path, my friends, then there will be no one left to bring about change in life. That's why I always want to say one small thing. All of us, parents, and every member of the family should be open minded. We should encourage all our children to move towards knowledge. Study, learn, go beyond. Read beyond just your school or degree curriculum. In school, you'll only study what's in the textbooks, but develop the art of reading beyond that. Read biographies, read about people's lives, their journeys, read about their struggles, read the stories of all kinds of people's lives. Many different revolutionaries have come, many different scholars, many different researchers, and there are so many different policies in India. We haven't read any of it. Not the Vedas, not the Puranas, not the Bhagavad Gita, not the sayings of various wise people. We haven't read about Bhagat Singh, nor about Raguru and Sukhdev, nor about many other intellectuals. The art of reading, make it a truly beautiful and consistent habit in your daily life. Study your heroes. Study the remarkable heroes who have come into this world, those who went far beyond just the ordinary. Take the time to read deeply about the immense struggles and the long, difficult journeys of all the great, influential scholars who have ever lived in this world. And if you ever feel in your heart that there is no real benefit in doing this, friends, a very wise person is writing, saying that there is no benefit in these things. If we have to work on the ground, then go ahead and work on the ground. But even those who are supposed to work on the ground are not actually ready to do so. That's why the more effort you put into all the different things you are telling us, the more of a difference these things will make in your life. My dear friends and colleagues, every single one of the dedicated efforts we are making today is vital. You need to not only bring them into your own daily life, but also deeply into the lives of all our future generations. And those who are truly ready for this commitment will definitely successfully initiate significant and meaningful changes that can introduce entirely new perspectives and innovative possibilities into our lives. My dear friends, I truly hope that after seeing the current situation we face today, all of our brothers and sisters gathered here will begin moving towards the pursuit of knowledge in their daily lives, in some meaningful way or another. I can say this in simple words, in just a few words. You cannot expect a miracle to happen overnight. You can't say that things will change tomorrow, but you can change something yourself. For that, it is very important to bring improvement in the entire upcoming generation. So, friends, thank you very much. It is my sincere and heartfelt hope that for every single one of the dedicated people who have gathered here today and actively became a part of this important discussion, today's insightful talk and today's deep deliberation will prove to be something very, very special and truly memorable for everyone involved. May each individual be able to take the fullest possible advantage of the present time they have here and try their absolute best to implement these ideas, even if they can only manage to do just a little bit at first. Keeping this time in mind, try to move forward in life. Friends, thank you very much. That's all for today. I know that many people who are connecting with today's life at this moment might be experiencing these circumstances. Seeing these things, they must be making some efforts in their own lives. If you are doing this, if you are moving forward in this direction, then gradually you will definitely see a change, a transformation. Friends, that's all for today. Thank you. I want to express my sincere gratitude to each of you for participating in today's live session. It is my sincere hope that we shall have the opportunity to gather together again in the very near future. And when we all meet again, we can make a collective resolution. We can form a powerful and lasting conviction in our minds so that we can truly begin to transform and move our lives in this positive direction. Friends, many people want blessings for various festivals. Give us the blessings of Ram Navami, give us the nectar of blessings, or give us a message on Ram Navami. I'm not in favor of you all remaining intoxicated by this. Every day marks an occasion from the life of some great soul. Every day there is some saint or spiritual leader, someone from the past. But do not let yourselves be intoxicated by this. You shouldn't have to create Ram Navami for yourself. You shouldn't have to create Navratri for yourself. These things shouldn't be necessary if you remain in that state every day where you find yourself conscious and aware. You shouldn't have to keep getting caught up in these religious values again and again. Do make an effort to lead yourself in the right direction. With this hope, friends, let's conclude today's discussion. Everyone who was a part of today's discussion should gradually try to see how, through our efforts, we can bring some benefit to the lives around us. Thank you very much, friends. We will meet you again soon. With this hope, in the upcoming discussions, if everything remains fine, if the atmosphere all around stays peaceful, if a situation of war does not arise everywhere. So, whenever the opportunity arises, whenever we get a chance, we will once again make such topics the focus of our discussions that can strengthen the lives around us. Friends, that's all for today. Best wishes. We will meet again soon at night. Until then, thank you very much. And in the meantime, strengthen yourself and your daily routine in such a way that your path to progress in life remains strong. Thank you. Good night. We will meet again soon.